Y'all, Poshmark is a dumpster fire. I'm only laughing and smiling so that I don't cry. What in the world is going on? Let me know down below if you guys are experiencing the same thing. But today's video, I am going to walk you through what I am seeing on Poshmark and then the strategy that I tried this last month that did increase my profits or my sales from July to the previous month to June, but it wasn't the same as it once was. Definitely wasn't the same as last year or in the big days. So let's take a look at what I'm actually showing you, friends. I've been selling on eBay since 2018. I have sold over $118,000 on Poshmark. I think I just said eBay, so I also sell on eBay, but I've been selling on Poshmark since 2018. I kind of know what I'm doing. Like, I'm not trying to have an ego here, but I know the sharing. I know the delisting and relisting. I know, like, all of these things that like work on Poshmark. I know it. I use Posher VA. I will link it up here with a coupon code, but it shares for me, it sends offers for me. They just came out with automatically deleting and relisting so many every single day. I'm doing all of these activities that have always worked in the past on Poshmark, and it's simply not working right now, right? Let me show you what I'm talking about, and then I will share the strategy with you as well, because I think it's important, instead of saying, hey, Sarah's seeing this and social media is seeing this, and look at your numbers and actually see what's going on for you. I'm on the computer. You can also look at this on your phone, but it's going to be in a slightly different format. But if you come up here to your little icon up at the top and you go to order activity and then you go to my closet insights, I'm showing you, I've sold over 4,000 items on Poshmark. Kind of know what I'm doing, right? And you can see here, it 2022 increased. I'm going to come down, I'm going to look at the entire year. And then I am clicking on this compare prior period because it's going to tell me not only my previous month, all of the months for the year, it's also telling me what my months looked like last year, right? So what's happening is these green numbers are this year, 2023. The line above it is last year. You can see every single month, all of the greens are down underneath the lines. Now, if y'all are running a business, you should always be improving or at least staying the same. I will tell you, my eBay right now is up like 14% for the year. So it's not just the market, right? Things are happening right now, but my eBay is actually up. So we can't just blame it on the market and say, hey, it's the market, people don't have money. That may be a little bit of it, but also like my eBay is up. So that can't be all of it. I think what's happening is, first off, I wanted you to notice this. I think Poshmark is just a dumpster fire right now. I think they're trying to figure out what's going on, right? They got bought out, right, by a different company. We haven't really heard a lot about what's going on, but a company gets bought out by a new company. They're going to be going in there and saying, hey, we're going to fine tune this. We have this new policy. We want, like, right? Like, things are going to be moving and changing. And I think there's a lot going on in the back end that we're not necessarily seeing, that this new company is trying to figure out what way that they want to steer Poshmark. One of it is the live sales. I will tell you, I currently do not do live sales. I did live sales, and I'll link the video up here about doing live sales. I did live sales for 2 months at the end of last year. At the end of the day, I did about 8 of them. At the end of the day, I was selling 20 to 30% of the sale that I was doing. So I was spending 2 hours and spending 20 to 30% of what I was selling. 2 hours in the show, not to mention all the back end and shipping. 2 hours in the show, and I was selling 20 to 30% of what I had up, and my average profit, so not what I was selling minus the fees, minus what I paid for it, was $2. So yes, maybe the live sales are taking over, but for my business, it's not. I'm not making $2 an item, right? $2 times 20% times 2, like, the math is not mathing. Right? It doesn't make sense. So maybe that's what it's doing. And maybe people are out there making $2 an item, and Poshmark is just not really for resellers anymore. It's for people who like social media selling, people who are just trying to clean out their closet and will take anything. But look down here. Like, Poshmark, get it together. January, March, May, July. Like, you learn in preschool, it goes January, February, March, April, May, right? Like, that's not how it goes. And this hasn't always been this way. What this is telling me, let me know what you guys think, right? I don't have any, this is hearsay. This is me just thinking outside the box and what I think is happening based off of the new company and based off of things that I'm seeing within here. they're obviously working on things on the back end, right? That's always said January, February, March, April, right? And now it's not. So that's just telling me things on the back end, they're going in there, messing with the algorithm. Let's think about last year when they were doing some A/B testing and they were like, oh, we're going to try this for this group, or we're going to try this for this group. It impacted us, right? And they didn't necessarily tell us until it was over. And so I'm wondering what's going on in the back end. There's a new company. Obviously, Closet Insights is a hot mess because it's March, May, July, right? So my sales are absolutely down. That's what I think is going on. Now, the strategy that I'm trying, because, I am here, I'm trying to make a business, trying to support my family out here, trying to make it work. What I did, Poshmark, think about it. Poshmark, your items get seen if you are doing sharing, right? Unless you're doing a live sale or you're doing your promoted sales, right? Because that has come out. So that is one other thing that could be impacting my sales, because promoted sales came out, and so maybe those items are getting more visibility and those items are actually selling. The only reason I'm going to say I don't think it's that, at least fully that, is because it's been happening to me since January. It's actually been happening since last Q4. So it's been happening for almost a complete year for me. So I don't think it's just that, but that could not be helping, right? But how do your items get seen? Let's say you're not doing promoted listings. Let's say that you are not doing live sales. Your items get seen by being shared more. I have 250,000. Woo! I have 2,500-ish items in my store, which means Poshmark says you can only, Poshmark VA recommends only sharing those items 8,000 shares a day. If you have 2,500 items, that's less than 4 shares per item a day, which means my items just really aren't getting seen. I have a friend who sells really high average sale price items, but she has a much smaller closet. And she was like, hey, my store is fine. I'm doing just fine on Poshmark. So my thought in this, and this is the strategy that I did, and it did work for July. Stay tuned because we'll see what happens in the future. But my thought was, hey, 2,600, 1,000. Sorry, my mailman just went by and I wanted to make sure he got my packages. My mind got. So 2,600 items only getting shared 3.5 times a day simply is not enough. My friend who has 600 items is rocking it out. So I went in and deleted 1,600-ish items, right? 1,600-ish items off of Poshmark, and the items that I have now are my high average sale price items. I have about 900 items on there now, and now that means of 8,000 shares a day, those items are getting shared 10 times, almost roughly 9-10 times a day instead of 4. It, in theory, should increase my items, and the items that are selling are higher average sale price items. So let's take a look and see if this actually works for me, friends. I'm going to say at the end of the day, I'm going to change this to, no, I'm going to keep it here so you guys can see the previous month. This is July. I'm assuming that's not, this is a mess because that's the same number and it's actually not the same number. Let's look at current month to prior month. All right, so you're just going to have to trust me on this because Poshmark is a hot mess. I looked at it yesterday before I did the video. And then, like I said, Poshmark is a mess. As I'm doing this video, this is what's happening. I looked at it yesterday, and this month so far, I'm filming this on the 31st, so I still have, if any sales come in today, although, y'all, I haven't had a sale in a week. So there's that as well. When I looked at it yesterday, my sales were actually up. Actually, we can look here. This is why you should always check and manage your own information. This is the Sarah Style Sales and Trends dashboard. So I'm going to go in. This is, I track and manage my own data. If you want to look at your information like this as well, you can look at it's purchased. You can link it down below with a coupon and everything. But if I scroll down to July, or June of 2023, my Poshmark sales were $634. If we look at July, I'm at $989. So my new strategy did actually work. It did give me $300 more in sales. Is it back to what it was before? No. Am I going to keep with it? Yes, because here's the thing. I pay a virtual assistant, and I pay a virtual assistant to cross list. And if those items aren't selling, I'm losing money. So I am now still, I'm going to do this for a couple months. I'll do a video, but let me know what you guys are seeing. I'm going to keep having her only list the items that are over probably $40 to $50 so that they're getting shared more in hopes that my average sale price is increasing there and I am starting to make more money. Let me know what you guys are seeing. Any help that you have on Poshmark.